So today we're going to do our first flipped video. What this is you are going to follow along in your notes as I go through the notes. Whatever I write, you write. That's the big idea. Whatever I write, you write. If you have questions, make sure you write them down on a Post-it or somewhere where you can then ask me later on in class. You can pause the video at any time, and you can also go back and rewind what you were watching. So that way you can keep reviewing whatever you're working on. So make sure you are on the notes, pages 117 through 124, and it says add and subtract decimals on the top. So what I'm going to do is turn my page, and I would like you to look at the bottom of the front of your notes. Okay, it has the swimmer on it. So again, whatever I write, you write. So it took Christina 37/100ths of a second longer to finish than Lisbeth Trickett. What was Magnussen's time in seconds? So we need to add. Remember, with adding and subtracting, we need to line up the decimals. And I'm writing, which means you should be writing. Line up the decimals. And we add zeros to hold our place. So I added a 0 right there. So let's add 3 and 7. So 7, 8, 9, 10. There's a 0, carry the 1. 7, 8, 9, 10 plus 1 more is 11. Carry the 1. 6 and 0 is 6 plus 1 more is 7. And 5 and 0 is 7. So my answer is 57.10. Now periodically I'll stop through the video and I'll give you a key letter or key word that you might need to write down, and that's really going to show me that you're listening to this whole video. So I would like you to write down S in the corner of your paper. Okay, now let's do subtraction. At a high school meet, a swimmer swam in the women's 100-meter butterfly in 72.34 seconds. How many seconds faster did Gabriela Silva swim her race? So we're going to take these two numbers and subtract. Again, we lined up the decimals. 4 minus 0 is 4. We need to make sure that we turn our brain over to subtraction because I know sometimes we're all about addition and then we forget about the subtraction. 3 take away 1 is 2. If I have 2, can I take 8 away? Nope, so I need to borrow 10, so that makes that a 12, and this becomes a 6. 12 minus 8 is 4. And 6 minus 5 is 1. And I also like to check using my calculator. So I can pull up my calculator and type in 72.34 minus 58.10. And I get 14.24. Perfect. I'd like you now to write the letter U in the box here. So you should have an S and a U. Write the letter U in the box here. Okay, let's turn your page. We're going to do a few examples and then you're going to do some on your own. Find the sum of 23.1 and 5.8. We lined up the decimals and I'm writing, which means you're writing. We add zeros to whole places. We don't need to estimate at all. Okay, so let's add. 1 plus 8 is 9. 5 plus 3, 5, 6, 7, 8. And 2 plus 0 is 2. And my last step is to bring down the decimal. So 28.9. Perfect. Let's go on to number 2. Now in this lined area, you may also write notes if you'd like, or we're going to actually write in the boxes that we have here. Again, we don't need to estimate. Let's write now the letter N in a box here as part of our secret code. So we should have S, that other letter that I put in the box, and N. 29.6, 14.7. So let's add 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. 9 and 4 is 13 plus 1 more is 14. Carry the 1. 2 and 1 is 3 plus 1 more is 4. We don't need to check for reasonableness. 44.3. Let's do check, though, our answer to make sure we're correct. 29.6 plus 14.7. 44.3. Perfect. And I can't see my decimal well enough, so I want to make sure it's there. Okay, let's look down now to the bottom. And again, just a reminder, feel free to pause if I'm going too fast or rewind if you need to. Find each sum. I would like you to do A, B, and C on your own. So press pause on your video, and when you're done, press play and check your work. Okay, so 54.7, 21.4, add those up, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 4, 5, 6, 5, 6, 7. Bring down the decimal. Let's check. 54.7 plus 21.4, and we get 76.1. Okay, we have the S, my other letter, my N, and you are going to add an F in this box. F. The letter F goes in this secret box. Okay, so F. 14.2, 23.5. 5, 6, 7, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 3. Bring down the decimal. Let's check. 14.2 plus 23.5. That gives me 37.7. And finally, 17.3 and 33.5. 5, 6, 7, 8. 7, 8, 9, 10. Put down the 0, carry the 1. 4 plus 1 more is 5. So we're at 50.8. Let's check our work. 17.3 plus 33.5 gives me 50.8. Perfect. Okay, another key letter. So we have S, blank, N, F, L. Okay, so you should have S, blank, N, blank, L. So it's going to spell out a word, so we'll see. Okay, now we're going to work on difference. So turn your page, and we are going to not estimate, but remember difference means to subtract. Again, we're lining up the decimals. So I'm writing, which means you're writing, 2.371. Let's subtract. 4 minus 1 is 3. 7 minus 7 is 0. 3 minus 7 is 4. 5 minus 2 is 3. And I bring down my decimal point. Okay, let's look at number 4. Again, we don't need to estimate. We don't need to check for reasonableness. So 6. Now, where is the decimal point here? I don't see it. If it's a plain old number, it's always at the end of the number. So if no decimal goes at end of, and this is the number sign. I know it looks like a hashtag, but it's the number sign as well. So it goes at the end, and I can add a 0 to hold my place. 4.78, and I need another 0. So I can't take away from this, so I need to borrow over here and keep borrowing. So this is going to become a 5, and this becomes a 9. Okay? 10 minus 8 is 2. 9 minus 7, and we can count up from 7 if we don't know that. So 7, 8, 9 is 2, and 5 minus 4 is 1. So we have S, U, N, F, L. We're going to put an O in the box right here. An O. Okay, everybody put an O in the box. Okay, let's finish number 5 now. 23, there's no number or decimal at the end, so I stick it there. Some zeros to hold my place. 4, 2, 1, 6. Okay, so I can't subtract this, so I need to borrow all the way over here. 9s, 9s. Oops, those aren't crossed off well enough. 10 minus 6 is 4. 9 minus 1 is 8. 9 minus 2 is 7. I can't do 2 minus 4, so that becomes a 12. That becomes a 1. And 8 and a 1. Okay, so let's check this with our calculator. 23 minus 4.216, and I get 18.784. Perfect job. Okay, now let's look down to the bottom. I have these 3 problems. I want you to pause the video now and do them on your own. So pause now and try these on your own. Okay, so check your answers with mine here. Check, check, check. And let's add another key letter to our word. So we have S-U-N-F-L-O-W. So add a W to your key letters. Okay, if you're ready, turn your page. I would like you to try numbers 1, 2, 3, and 4. I'm going to read 4 to you. Grayson is making snack mix for his family camping trip. He added 14.52 ounces of peanuts to 27.35 ounces of granola. How many ounces of snack mix does he have? So what operation do you think we're going to do? We're going to add. So again, pause the video right now and then try these on your own. When you're ready, press play and you can see how I did them. Okay, so please check your work now with what I have on the screen. Make sure you lined up the decimals and you are nice and neat. That is the most important part of adding and subtracting decimals. I'm now going to give you your next key letter, which I'd like you to put in the box over here, which is the letter E, like elephant, E. When you're all set and you wrote E in the box, that means you should have S-U-N-F-L-O-W-E. And I want you to look at the rate yourself and put an R in the box. Put an R in the box. And that will finish our word, which is sunflower. I'm not always going to tell you the word, but today I wanted you to see how this all works. Now finally, I'd like you to rate yourself. Do you understand how to add and subtract decimals, or do you still have some questions? Again, if you have some questions, write them down and bring them into class, and then we can go from there. So this is the end of your first flip video. Congratulations, you made it through it. And this kind of gives you an idea of how we're going to be doing flip videos from now on. All right, have a great rest of your day.